Hi, welcome back to EducateTube.com. My name is Sipsky, your host. So this summer, I'm pretty sure you might be going camping with your families, and one of the favorite activity, of course, is starting a campfire. And what would be great is to start it properly. Of course, to start it, you need ways to light up the fire. Of course, now before I do that, I want to show you different way of doing it and different type of tools that you need. The very important thing is that you have to have a initial dry material to get the fire started. So whether it's paper or lint, and then of course twigs or dry leaves, and then that gets started. And then of course what you need is a fire starter, like here is a wax compressed dust wood. This works really well. I made my own. I have wax lint. Put in an 8 carton, and that works pretty good too. The key here is to get the fire started for at least 8 to 12 minutes for the log to burn. Okay, so if you have for example, if you just have this, the paper and the lint and a bit of twig, fire lasts only say less than 5 minutes. The log, especially when it's a little bit wet, will not get started. It will not burn well. Or if you burn charcoal, same thing. Okay, the fire, in my experience anyway, you gotta get it going for at least 8 to 12 minutes. In fact, ideally you should want to sustain that fire for at least 12 to 15 minutes, and then the log will start burning, or the charcoal will start burning, and then it will burn on its own. Once there's enough fuel, fire going, it will burn internally. Okay, so that's the key strategy to that. Now I want to talk about today is this different way to start that fire. Of course, the simplest method is to get a match, right? So make sure you carry a match with you, and match is really cheap. One of these packs probably costs you less than 5 cents, right? You buy hundreds of cases, and you'll be fine with that. Okay. Now, ideally, of course, what you want is a waterproof match, but that's a little bit more expensive. Okay. So the next thing is, if you don't have a match, then go for a cigarette lighter. Okay. It's powered by you can see here butane. Liquid in there, so notice works well. Okay, so that's another thing. This is also cheap, so you probably get it for about 50 cents for this thing, right? And the next thing, of course, to go upgrade that is of course a butane torch. This one's great because this is really hot. It gives you a blue flame. See that? Look at that. And that thing guaranteed to burn for sure. Burn quickly and fast. Okay, so if this one I always carry on as well. Love this thing because it can burn on melt a lot of things. And again, it's powered by butane, and it's much hotter than this cigarette lighter. Okay, that was yellow flame. This is a blue. Let me see. The one problem I have is that this is old. Sometimes there we go. Okay, blue flame, hotter flame. Now, those things are great, but the thing is they run on fuel like butane, because they don't last as long. So I also have with me magnifying glasses. Now if you have a lot of sun during that day, you can use magnifying glasses to focus on the light beam, and it will be so hot, that little narrow beam, it will burn the paper, and then you get the fire started as well that way. Or lint, it will burn the lint, and then you gather the twig, the dry leaves, and then of course the wax, compressed sawdust. Okay, and it works well. The other one I really enjoy is this Magnesium Rod. Okay, this one, look at the spec. It's supposed to last 10,000 times. Where when I light it up, 10,000 times, it should last me. So this one, can last 10,000 times. That probably a couple years, right? If I just depend on this only. So what you want to do is, of course, you want to scrape out a piece of metal, little dust, and then what you do is you just use, here I have some kind of sandpaper, rough sandpaper here, and I just rub on it, and of course once I pile up that dust of magnesium dust, and then I go like that. Okay, just light it up onto that, there we go, and it works. Okay, so this one works in dry environment, cold environment, any environment. I would say invest in this type of technology or this type of tool. Works really well. The last one is more modern. Been around for a couple years now, but this one I have is called Tech Fire. It doesn't require any fuel. However, it runs by lithium batteries. So basically, it has USB here. You charge it, and when you light it up, it should last at least 50, 60 times. Or I haven't really tested how long it lasts, but apparently, as long as you have battery pack system like this one here for my smartphone, I can use it to charge this. But as long as it lasts me at least 50 times, I'm okay, with it, and I can recharge it again. And especially if you have a solar panel, right? Tiny solar panel, you can charge that, use USB, and it will charge that and it will get going as well. Now look at the technology. It's actually run on an electric arc. Look at that, see? And it works, and I was surprised that it works really well. Watch this. Here's a piece of paper. I put this onto the arc, and it burns. See? Look at that. Burns pretty fast, right? Very reliable, this one as well. One I like about it is that if you're one of those techie guy who has a battery pack, lithium battery pack system, this is definitely a good tool to bring. It works well. Okay. What I like about this one, this Tech Fire, is that it has a water-resistant casing. So I'm not saying it's waterproof. You can't dip this in water. It will definitely damage the inside components. But it is water-resistant. No, where if there's a splash of water on it or a bit of rain on the cover, it should be okay still, right? However, I would not dip this in water. I think I saw in a video where this is not waterproof, rather water resistant. Okay, so splash of water, rain, let's say you put in your pocket get a little bit wet. As long as it's not soaked in water, this thing, the container should concealed or sealed up the water going into the device. It works well. Alright, so there we go. You have different way to start a fire. Enjoy this summer. EducateTube.com.